the shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can.
Grandpa! No, be careful! Grandpa, stop! Grandpa in my pocket! It was the school holidays. Usually, the school holidays are lots of fun. But I wasn't having much fun this time round
Stop scratching, Jason.
because I was covered in chickenpox spots.
Just need my sticky stars.
I'm so fed up, Grandpa.
Poor Jason Wolfie. Not only has he got chickenpox, but he's missing out on a special trip to the lighthouse.
Yes, today I was missing out on a visit to Mr. Mentor's Marvelicious Inventing Club. Mr. Mentor, the inventor, lives in the lighthouse in Sunnysands. He is always coming up with really crazy inventions, like this, the grassy bubble jumper, and this, the automatic aerostatic. Today, he'd invited some children to his inventing club so that they could come up with some inventions of their own. I'd even decided what things I was going to use for my invention.
Really? Such as?
Well, there's an old tricycle wheel at the lighthouse, and there's a curly-whirly coat hanger, and there's heaps of coloured flower pots. Oh, I could have made something brilliant out of all that.
Ready to invent something Marvelicious?
Yes, I've got a great idea.
That'll be Shanae's mum. I'll go and say hello. Come on, Jemima.
See you later. And no scratching.
I want to go to Mr. Mentor's Marvelicious Inventing Club too. I've got a feeling that Jemima is going to need some help.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa. You know what happens when Grandpa puts on his magic shrinking cap? He can climb up things, he can jump on things and off things, he can get into my toy car and make it go, he can chuff around the room in my Sunnysands train. But if he wants to go to the lighthouse, he has to fly.
This is my idea. I'd like to make a guessing machine for Jason.
A guessing machine? Oh, that's a fabadiculous idea. Let's see what we've got in here.
Luckily, Jemima, Shanae and Mr. Mentor were so busy looking through his big box of junk that they didn't see Grandpa fly in through the window, or land on the floor, or jump out, climb onto a table, and hide behind Mr. Mentor's ping-a-ding-a-dong. Just in time, too. Because who should suddenly walk in but...
Lloyd! Don't start without me.
Lloyd! What a spectacular surprise. I'm so glad you're here. You can help us invent a guessing machine for Jason.
Nah, guessing machines are boring. I want to invent a machine that will make you go, ah!
Well, it's already made me go, ah! And you haven't even invented it yet.
Grandpa could tell that Floyd was going to be big trouble.
We'll work in pairs. You two stay here and me and Mr. Mentor over there. I've got some cardboard and some springs and some odd socks. They were under my bed. Just do what I say, Mr. Mentor, because I've got a brilioso idea. Come on!
And Grandpa was going to have a brilioso plan. Because soon, Floyd's brilioso idea looked like this.
I'm going to call my invention the Odd Sock Shock Monster.
Well, we've got the socks. Now it's time to do the shocks. That's the tricky bit.
I want his trunk to swing up and go and his eyes to pop out and go boing, and his tongue to shoot out and go ah!
Oh, please don't keep doing that, Floyd. It's very hard to invent when you keep making me jump.
Mr. Mentor was so busy helping Floyd that he had no time to help Jemima and Shanae.
What if we put some little objects in here, then spin a wheel, and one of them falls into some kind of pot thing at the bottom?
Okay, and then you put your hands in the machine and try to guess what it is just by feeling it.
We could call it the Whizzy Wheelie Touchy Feely.
It's a great idea, but I haven't got a clue how to invent it. We really need some help.
That's when Grandpa remembered all the things that I said I wanted to use. He jumped off the table and rolled the old tricycle wheel towards Jemima.
How did it do that?
No idea, but it's just what we need for the Whizzy Wheelie bit.
Grandpa's plan had started to work. He looked up and saw something else Jemima would need. So he jumped onto the table and made for the curly-whirly coat hanger. He carefully wiggled it off the hook.
Did that curly-whirly coat hanger just fall off all by itself?
It must have done. Hey, it's the perfect thing to stick the wheel onto.
Now all we need is something to put our objects in.
Grandpa knew the very thing. He jumped down and headed for a huge tower of plastic flower pots. He gave the tower a big push and...
A flower pot! This one's just the right size.
Grandpa's plan was definitely working.
It's almost as if these things want to be a part of our invention.
Meanwhile, Mr. Mentor was making Floyd cross.
And that is definitely not right there. Goes in
This
there.
is hopeless. It doesn't do anything. It's supposed to make you go, ah!
Ah! I don't do things that make you go, ah! I'm not that kind of inventor. Oh, dear.
While Grandpa thought up another plan, Floyd went over to the others.
What's that supposed to be? It looks pathetic.
It's a Whizzy Wheelie Touchy Feely, but it's not finished yet.
It'll never work. Not in a million years. This is a useless inventing club. Nothing works.
Now was Grandpa's chance. He was going to teach bossy Floyd a lesson. Floyd wanted his odd sock shock monster to make Mr. Mentor go, ah! What if the monster made Floyd go, ah, instead? So Grandpa crawled up the trunk of the odd sock shock monster.
Oh, don't do it like that. Do it my way.
Get off, Floyd! Leave us alone. You do your own thing.
At that moment, Grandpa started to wiggle the odd sock shock monster, and his eyes went boing, and his tongue shot out, and Floyd went,
Ah! It's horrible. Make it stop. Make it stop. I'm not doing your silly inventing club anymore. So there.
Then the odd sock shock monster started to laugh.
That's an incredible invention, Mr. Mentor.
Oh, I didn't invent it. It invented itself. And inventions that invent themselves are always fabridiculous. Oh, it stopped. Oh, I hope I haven't broken it. I'll just have a look inside.
Mr. Mentor, now that Floyd's out the way, please can you help us with our Whizzy Wheelie Touchy Feely?
Please?
Of course, my dear. Whizzy Wheelie Touchy Feelies are right up my street.
Yes.
Come on.
While they all worked on Jemima and Shanae's invention, Grandpa got out of the odd sock shock monster, and soon the Whizzy Wheelie Touchy Feely looked like this.
It's finished. Brilioso.
But we don't know if it works yet. Shouldn't we test it out?
But there was no time to test it out because...
My mum's here. We've got to go. Floyd, do you want to lift home?
Let me carry it down the stairs for you.
That is so cool. Can I have a look? Nice job. I'm sorry I was so mean, Mr. Mentor. I had no idea you were such an amazing inventor. That odd sock shock monster is spectacular.
Apology absolutely accepted. I do hope you'll come back to our inventing club next week.
Well, maybe.
Aren't you going to take your odd sock shock monster home with you, Floyd?
No way. I mean, no thanks. It can stay here.
Off we go. Mind the stairs.
As soon as everyone had left the room, Grandpa jumped into the plane and flew out of the window. Luckily, he arrived back just before Jemima. Grandpa jumped out of the plane, whipped off his shrinking cap, and came back to his normal size.
Grandpa, you're back. Did you have a successful mission?
I certainly did, and I couldn't have done it without you, though.
But I didn't help at all.
Oh, yes, you did, and any minute now you'll find out how. It was still teamwork.
Okay, Grandpa, teamwork.
Here you are, Jason, my Marvelicious new invention.
Thanks. It's extremely marvelicious.
What is it exactly?
It's a whizzy-wheelie touchy-feely.
A guessing game.
Yes, Grandpa. You spin the wheel, and that sends an object into the bottom. Then you stick your hands in there and try to guess what it is, just by feeling it.
Give it a try, Jason.
The other good thing about this invention is it stops Jason scratching his spots.
So it does. It's a work of genius, Jemima.
Has lots of legs. It's made of plastic.
I know. It's a plastic spider. I'm so glad you used the old tricycle wheel and the curly-whirly coat hanger.
And the flower pot, it's inside.
Right again, Grandpa. Anyone would think you'd been to Inventing Club too.
It's really good, Jemima.
I know. Shall I help?
Grandpa in my pocket!
Oh, it's a hot day for tea. Shouldn't they be having juice?
My friend Dora had come to play. And when Dora comes, we have to play with Jemima's old dolls.
Look, we've even got a chef.
Ah, Pedro Perfecto. Here you are, Pedro, a jammy jumbly biscuit for your customers.
We were all having fun, but guess who'd come to look after us?
Oh, I have never been so hot in all my life.
Great Aunt Loretta, Grandpa's sister.
Green gloop, that's what I need.
Green gloop is spinach and sprout shake. It's just one of the revolting things she makes.
Oh, yum. Right, now come on, got to clear all this lot away.
What?
Why?
We are expecting a visitor.
Who?
Mrs. McWhiskit, that's who.
The Mrs. McWhiskit? From Mrs. McWhiskit Cooks for the Country?
The very one, Grandpa.
Mrs. McWhiskit has a TV cooking show.
I met her in Miss Smiley's cafe. She is in Sunnysands gathering exciting new recipes. I said to her, if you are gathering exciting new recipes, you have come to the right place. I am going to make her the tea of her life.
Jammy jumbly biscuit?
Oh, I'm planning a whole lot more than a jammy jumbly biscuit, Grandpa. A whole lot more.
Oh yes, today there would be more than a biscuit for Mrs. McWhiskit. Mrs. McWhiskit does a TV show called Mrs. McWhiskit Cooks for the Country. She is great at stirring and whisking and mashing. And she makes really extraordinary food, like the Jelly Mountain, and the Vegetable Volcano, and the Field of Fruit.
Ah, field of fruit. That's my favourite Mrs. McWhiskit recipe.
We'd set up the dolls' tea party again, but we weren't going to have much time to play.
Jason! Dora!
Coming!
In fact, Jason, if Aunt Loretta is going to try and make some of her revolting food for Mrs. McWhiskit, I think we ought to try and stop her. And to do that, I need to be small.
Not a shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can!
Now, as you know, when Grandpa's small, he can run so fast I can't catch him. He can fly off in my toy plane. He can whiz about in my toy car. I had no idea where he'd got to or what he was planning.
Jason!
I had to go and help Great Aunt Loretta to make Mrs. McWhiskit's tea.
Trust Grandpa to have gone for a little lie down. Ah! Right now then, have we got everything ready for sardines and bananas on toast cauliflower cake with cockles and jam, seaweed jelly and mustard, and lobster and lettuce ice cream. Ooh.
Great Aunt Loretta was making her weirdest tea ever. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Grandpa running in. And guess what? He was dressed as Pedro Perfecto. He jumped onto the dresser and then told me to get everyone out in the garden.
Seaweed and the jelly.
Great Aunt Loretta, why don't we pick some tomatoes from the garden? I think they'd go really well with the,
Lobster and lettuce ice cream?
Ooh, you're really catching on, you two. Ooh, go on then, out you go.
So we went into the garden and Great Aunt Loretta went to the dresser.
Oh, I thought I told them to put all the dolls in the other room. Oh, I don't like the looks of you. Shifty looking you are.
So Great Aunt Loretta thought Grandpa was a doll.
And Mrs. McWhiskit won't like dogs in the kitchen, so you watch out.
Meanwhile, Grandpa had jumped off the dresser and was now on the kitchen table. He started to knock things off. First the sardine tins, then the banana, then the mustard jar, then the cockles, then the jam, then the lobster, then the lettuce, and finally the open tub of ice cream. The temptation of ice cream was too much for Wolfie. Well, after all, it was a very hot day. The second part of Grandpa's plan was to hide everything. But then he heard the doorbell. And then he heard this.
Ah, what's going on in here? Oh, oh, you, that dog. That dog, it's been all over this table. Oh, I feel all hot and peculiar. Oh, but I can get a bowl out there for the tomato.
Grandpa quickly hid behind the toaster.
Oh, come on, hurry up. Any minute, Mrs. McWhiskit will be here.
Mrs. McWhiskit here. Oh, I rang the bell and didn't get an answer, so I came round the back.
Oh, afraid the tea's not quite ready yet.
Tea's not quite ready, you say? My dear, the tea is all over the floor, and there's a wee scraggy-looking dog eating ice cream out of the tub. How perfectly horrible. Shoo, you! Shoo, this is no place for dogs.
I was just going to mash some tomatoes for the tomato sauce.
I'll do the
To go with ice
mashing.
cream. Oh.
I'm not just a great whisker, I'm a great masher, too.
Oh, you squirted me. Oh, I don't want to be squirted. Here, I'll do the mashing.
Oh.
And Great Aunt Loretta chased her around the table.
Come on, give it to me. I'll do it.
Oh, a lobster just tripped me up. Oh, out of the kitchen, you two. This is no place for wee children. This is a health hazard.
It's perfectly harmless.
Take it away.
It won't hurt you.
No, I don't like the whiskery bits. Put it down. Thank you, Loretta. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so hot. Is it always this hot in Sunnysands?
No, it's an especially hot day. What you need is a glass of green gloop. Nothing like a glass of green gloop to cool you.
So that's how you cool down in Sunnysands, is it? You get covered in glue.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean. Oh, I'm getting a towel. Mrs. McWhiskit's covered in glue.
And Great Aunt Loretta dashed upstairs.
Should we go in?
No! I needed an idea.
Tell you what, go and help Great Aunt Loretta find a towel. I'll listen here.
I knew Grandpa would be up to something any minute.
Sunnysands, eh? Oh, I'd heard such great things about the place. Miss Smiley's cafe is full of wonderful recipes, but here, there's bunkers. Lobster ice cream and green gloop and a tiny wee chef. A tiny wee chef.
Pedro Perfecto, at your service.
This time, Grandpa had gone too far.
What would you like, huh? I can make anything in the world. I can make a spaghetti, a macaroni, linguine, tortellini, pizza with a crispy base, pizza with a not-so-crispy base.
Grandpa was going through every dish he knew.
The frankfurters, the fries. How you like some ice cream, huh?
A wee chef is talking to me. A wee chef is talking to me.
And with that, she ran into the garden.
She's run into the garden. I think she's just very hot and bothered.
Oh, bothered. A wee chef was talking to me.
A chef? Where?
In there. A wee talking chef.
Oh, don't be silly.
Just then, the doorbell rang.
That'll be your mum, Dora. Quick, you've got to go.
Before I knew it, Grandpa was back on the table, but he had to hide. He dived under the lobster and...
Did he talk to you? Did the chef talk to you?
No, the lobster! The lobster ran across the table towards me.
Come up here! Come up here! Where they can't get at us!
So they looked at each other, looked at the pond, and decided to jump. Then they decided to laugh.
I think we just got hot and bothered.
I think we just needed to cool down.
Greator, Loretta! Catch!
I left them playing in the pond, and I ran inside to find Grandpa.
I've put Pedro's clothes back on him, Jason.
Well done, Grandpa. Now cap off, quick. So Grandpa took off his cap and came back to his normal size.
Oh, well, Jason, we stopped Aunt Loretta from making her weird food for Mrs. McWhiskit.
Yes, Grandpa. And I think they're going to be friends for life now.
Teamwork, eh?
Teamwork.
Later, Great Aunt Loretta and Mrs. McWhiskit were definitely friends for life.
I was so hot and bothered, I thought I was chased by a lobster.
And I thought a wee chef was talking to me.
What would you like? I can do a spaghetti, macaroni, linguine, jammy jomly.
Do you know something? He sounded just like that. The wee chef.
Grandpa in my pocket! It was a sunny spring weekend, and I was having breakfast in the garden with Grandpa. Mum, Dad and Jemima had gone away to a dance contest, so guess who was looking after us?
Who wants a sausage then?
Oh, Miss Smiley, you're spoiling us all rotten.
Now that I've fed you all, I must go and open the cafe.
Can I come with you, Miss Smiley? I'd like that.
Oh, I'd like that too, Jason. What about you, Grandpa? What would you like to do today?
I'd like to sit in my chair and read the Sunnysands Gazette. But first of all, I would like another cup of tea.
Yes, this was definitely shaping up into a day to do what you like to do. And speaking of liking things...
Mr. Like a Biker!
Oh, I like a friendly face in the morning.
Mr. Like a Biker doesn't just like bikes, he likes everything to do with cycling.
Oh, I like a bike with silver trim. Oh, I like a saddle with comfy padding. Oh, I like a helmet with sparkly stars on it.
In fact, Mr. Like a Biker just likes everything.
Oh, I'm so glad you're in. I said to Eric, I said, I'll be so glad if they're in.
Who's Eric?
Oh, where's he gone? Hang on. Eric, come on, come here. Eric's my nephew. He's staying with me for the weekend. Oh, Eric, come and meet some new friends.
I don't like meeting new friends.
Oh, he's just shy. Come on, Eric. Now, this is Jason. This is Miss Smiley. Oh, look, this is Wolfie.
I don't like dogs with pointy ears.
I could see Grandpa looking through the kitchen window. He doesn't like it if people don't like Wolfie. And neither do I.
I was hoping you could help me think of something to do with Eric today. See, I thought we could go for a bike ride, but,
I don't like bikes.
No. Then I thought we could fly a kite on the beach, but,
I don't like kites or the beach.
no.
Maybe you could come to the cafe with me and Jason. I'm sure we'll be able to find something you like there.
The cafe! I forgot about the cafe. Everyone loves Miss Smiley's cafe. Oh, there's lots of lovely cakes there.
So I went inside to tell Grandpa we were taking Eric to the cafe.
If you're taking Eric to the cafe, you're going to need some help. And I've got a feeling I'll be more help if I'm small.
I knew what Grandpa was thinking. Not a shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can!
When Grandpa puts on his magic shrinking cap, he likes having all sorts of fun. He likes running around and leaping off the furniture. He likes driving my Sunnysands train around the room. And he especially likes flying my toy plane. I'm the only one who knows about Grandpa's shrinking cap, and it's really important that nobody else finds out. I was about to talk to Grandpa when Miss Smiley rushed in.
We're waiting for you, Jason. And guess what? Eric doesn't like waiting.
Just coming.
Oh, where's Grandpa? Gone for a little lie down, has he? Oh, he's only just had his breakfast.
There was nothing I could do. Grandpa would have to find a way to get to the cafe by himself. Once we all got to the cafe, we started helping Miss Smiley. She was arranging the food, I was putting out the menus, and Mr. Like a Biker was cleaning. But Eric wasn't doing anything.
Perhaps you could dust the chairs.
I don't like dusting.
Or you could put flowers on the table.
I don't like flowers.
I was hoping Grandpa would arrive soon. We really needed his help. Just then, Grandpa ran into the cafe. He jumped onto the table and hid, just as Miss Smiley came in.
Would you like a cherry chunk, Eric?
Ooh, did you say cherry chunks?
Any moment, Eric would see Grandpa. I waved at Grandpa to hide. He quickly jumped into the salad.
Ah! Something just jumped into the salad. Maybe it's a frog.
A frog? In the salad? Well, there can't be.
There is. I saw it move. I don't like frogs. I don't like salad. And I especially don't like frogs in salads.
Don't worry, everyone. I'll sort it out, whatever it is. I ran off into the kitchen.
Dear. Oh, Miss Smiley, what am I going to do? Eric doesn't like anything I like. Oh, I'm all of a doodah.
I don't like doodahs.
Well, that didn't work. But I've just thought of something that might. What about taking him to Mr. Whoops's toy shop? Every boy likes a toy.
Of course they do, Grandpa. So I put Grandpa in my pocket and said to the others, "Hey, let's go to Mr. Whoops's toy shop."
Oh, I like Mr. Whoops's toy shop, and you'll like it too, Eric. It's full of wonderful new toys.
I don't like new toys.
Oh, I can't take much more of this.
Well, I've got to go to the toy shop to give Mr. Whoops his lunch. So why don't I take Eric and you and Jason can carry on getting the cafe ready. It'll give you a well-earned break.
Ooh, I like a well-earned break. Thank you, Miss Smiley.
So I had to stay in the cafe and help Mr. Like a Biker, which meant that Grandpa had to go to Mr. Whoops's toy shop on his own.
Brilliant there. So many fun toys, honestly.
He ran out of the cafe and took off in my plane. Meanwhile, at the toy shop, this was happening.
I don't like tractors. I don't like puzzles. I don't like craft kits. I don't like sweets.
You don't like sweets. He doesn't like sweets.
Luckily, Mr. Whoops and Miss Smiley were so busy picking up sweets that they didn't see Grandpa flying in, or landing on the toy shop floor, or running to the shelves to hide.
like elephants. I don't like puppets. I don't like skateboards. I don't like buckets. Or spades. And I told you I don't like frogs.
Oops! Be careful, Mr. Whoops. We don't want any little accidents.
I don't like little accidents. I don't like big accidents either.
Oh, poor Mr. Whoops. He's going to need a bandage. Oh, dear.
Now Grandpa was alone with Eric. This was his big chance.
I don't think I've ever met a boy who doesn't like toys.
Who said that?
Me! Bingalingo, the talking baboon.
I don't like talking baboons.
No, I rather guessed you wouldn't. You don't seem to like anything.
But I do. I've lots of things at home that I like. I like my old bear that sits on my bed. I like my old superhero comics. I like my old toy cars.
Oh, I see. So you like old things?
Yes.
Oh, I agree. Old things are far more interesting than new things. And I know who's got lots of old things you'd love to play with. Jason.
Really?
Yes, and there's one old thing in particular.
But just then, Mr. Whoops and Miss Smiley came back. Grandpa's job was done. It was time for him to go home.
Miss Smiley, I've thought of something I'd like to do.
Oh, that's wonderful, Eric. What is it?
I'd like to go to Jason's house and play with all his old things. Bingalingo says Jason has loads of old things that I'd really like.
Bingalingo?
You know, Bingalingo, the talking baboon.
Well, that's wonderful news, Eric. Well, let's go to the cafe and ask Jason if he'd like to play. We'll see you later, Mr. Whoops. And thank Bingalingo for me, will you?
Yes, of course. Hello, Bingalingo. Well, talk to me then.
Grandpa flew home as fast as he could. Miss Smiley went back to open up her cafe. And Mr. Like a Biker took me and Eric back to my house. Eric really liked Grandpa's treasure chest full of all his old toys.
Ooh, I like an old knight in shining armour. Ooh, I like an old boat with flappy sails. Oh, I like an old monkey wearing red dungarees.
Oh, and I like it when you like everything.
Grandpa had done the trick. But where was he?
Starting, look.
I rushed into the garden to see if I could see him. And there he was, just coming in to land. Grandpa took off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
You did it, Grandpa! Eric is playing with your treasure chest and he likes everything.
I thought he might. That's marvellous. But if it wasn't for you, I'd still be in the salad. Teamwork, eh?
Yes, Grandpa, teamwork.
Grandpa went back inside to see Eric.
Hello there.
Oh, Grandpa, guess what? We've discovered what Eric likes. Old things.
Really? Then hopefully he might like me then. Old things are far more interesting than new things and much more fun.
That's exactly what Bingalingo, the talking baboon, said.
Did he?
Grandpa in my pocket! Today we were having fun helping Mum with her latest hobby, making collages. We were making a picture of Sunnysands beach when suddenly we heard...
Who could that be?
Mum went to answer the telephone.
Beach.
Hello?
And who was it?
Mr. Mentor.
It was Mr. Mentor. Mr. Mentor, the inventor, lives in a lighthouse in Sunnysands. He is always coming up with really crazy inventions. Sometimes Grandpa helps Mr. Mentor make his inventions work. Of course, Mr. Mentor doesn't know about this. He thinks he invents all his amazing inventions by himself. Today, Mum had some very strange news about Mr. Mentor.
He's giving up inventing.
What?
Mr. Mentor's giving up inventing, but he can't. It's unthinkable.
Well, he says he wants to try something new. He's coming over to see us now to see if we can help.
But everyone in Sunnysands loves Mr. Mentor's inventions.
I know, Jemima, but he doesn't want to talk about them. He's had enough of inventing. We're not even to say the word invention.
That's right. Today there was to be no mention of an invention.
Anyway, back to the collage. I've just had an idea for the sun rays. Petals!
So, Mum went off to the garden to find petals.
Well, that news has given me a bit of a shock. I think I better go and have a little lie down.
I knew what Grandpa was thinking.
Mr. Mentor can't give up inventing. He's a wonderful inventor, especially when I help him. We've got to make him change his mind, Jason, and I've got a feeling the best way of doing that is by me being small.
Not a shrinking cup, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can!
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He can get into my toy car and use his magic to make it go. He can chuff around in my Sunnysands train. He can even fly my toy plane around the room. Today he jumped onto the sofa and then onto the shelves. Just then the doorbell rang.
I know who it is.
Grandpa quickly hid.
Mr. Mentor.
Yes, it's me, Mr. Mentor, not the inventor. Isn't it Wonderbubble?
Actually, we don't think it's Wonderbubble at all.
But I need a change. I'm tired of inventing. I want a fabadiculous new job. I was rather hoping you could think of one for me.
I know. How about being a gardener? You can try it out in our garden. See if you like it.
How brilioso! I'd love to be a gardener. What do I have to do? Oh, right. Well, let's go.
So Jemima took Mr. Mentor out to the garden and Grandpa jumped onto the sofa.
Mr. Mentor is an inventor, not a gardener.
But how are we going to make him see that, Grandpa?
I know. I'll invent something, but Mr. Mentor will think he's invented it. That way he'll see that inventing is much more fun than gardening. Now, this is what we'll do.
While Mum and Jemima were showing Mr. Mentor how to plant seeds, Grandpa ran out into the garden and put his plan into action.
I'll leave you to it.
Oh, right.
Don't forget to give the seeds a drink of water. Grandpa stood behind the watering can and carefully lifted it up. Mr. Mentor was bound to be pleased with his new invention.
Oh, no, no, no! I've accidentally invented a whizzy-woodlesome wonder-waterer. Oh, I don't want to be an inventor. Oh!
Mr. Mentor, come back. It really isn't that bad.
I had to talk to Grandpa. I'm afraid that plan didn't work, Grandpa.
The invention wasn't spectacular enough, that's why. I've got to come up with something better. Something that will persuade him that inventing is the best thing he can do.
How about a talking invention? Mr. Mentor loves it when you make his inventions talk.
You've got it, Jason.
I can't be a gardener if I'm going to accidentally invent gardening equipment. I want a different job. A job where I can't invent anything.
I went to find Mr. Mentor and Grandpa followed.
Okay. How about being a dog trainer? You can practice with Wolfie.
How fabadiculous. I'd love to be a dog trainer. What do I have to do?
So Jemima told Wolfie to fetch his fluffy slipper.
Wolfie, fetch!
And sure enough, Wolfie fetched it.
Spectacular. Oh, let me have a go. Wolfie, come here. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yes. Now, Wolfie, sit. Look. Now, Wolfie, roll over. Oh, look at him, look at him. Oh, splendid. Now,
It was time for Grandpa to put his next plan into action. While nobody was looking, he crawled into the toe of the fluffy slipper.
oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? I could give up inventing. It'd be fabulous. Oh, no more inventing for me. I'm going to be a dog trainer and train all the dogs in Sunnysands.
I soon found out what Grandpa's plan was.
Wolfie, fetch your lead.
So Wolfie fetched his lead.
Oh, No. It's happened again. I've accidentally invented a super lipper talking slipper.
Mr. Mentor hurled the slipper across the room. This was a disaster.
Well, you all love your invention.
The bad news was that Grandpa's plan had failed again. But the good news was that he hadn't hurt himself.
I really tried my best with that invention. I really thought Mr. Mentor would like it.
Perhaps you could bring something to life. Mr. Mentor loves those kind of inventions.
You're right, he does. But in order to do that, we're going to have to get Mum and Jemima out of the way. Now, this is what we'll do.
Oh, I can't be a dog trainer if I'm going to invent talking slippers. It's unbearable.
Excuse me, Mr. Mentor, but you're sitting on a beach hut.
What?
Beach hut.
While nobody was looking, Grandpa ran into the kitchen and hid behind a table leg. And then I came in with Wolfie. I'm afraid the super lipper talking slipper has made Wolfie think he's going to get to walk.
I'm so sorry. My fault entirely.
OK, Wolfie, just a quick one. Anyone else want to come?
I will. I'll stay here with Mr. Mentor. I've got an idea for something he can do for a job.
Best of luck. You're going to need it.
I was thinking you could be an artist.
Oh, now that's your most brilliant idea yet. I'd love to be an artist. But what do I have to do?
Well, you could start by making a collage like we've all been doing.
Fantastical. Oh, let's have a look in here.
Mr. Mentor started choosing bits and bobs. Well, I took the Sunnysands beach picture off the easel.
Now, what shall I make a picture of?
So now I had to tell Mr. Mentor what Grandpa had told me to say. How about making a magic kingdom? With fairies and pixies and old wizards. Yes, definitely a wizard with a long white beard.
A wizard? How whizzy-woodlesome. Now, let's have a look in here, see what we've got. Oh, and this piece of purple will be perfect for the wizard's gown.
And it wasn't long before Mr. Mentor had created this.
I have to admit, this is quite spectacular.
Now I had to get Mr. Mentor out of the way for a few moments. How about using some real flower petals for the flowers? Like the ones Mum used for the sun rays. They're in the garden.
Fabadiculous. Being an artist is much easier than being an you-know-what.
Quickly, Jason, now's your chance. You know what to do.
Okay, Grandpa. So, Grandpa started to climb up the easel. Mr. Mentor picked some flower petals and then came back into the kitchen. He was just about to stick a petal on the picture when suddenly he heard...
Ahem, ahem.
Ah!
This time Grandpa had gone too far.
No, I've gone and done it again. I've invented Mr. Mentor's magical moving masterpiece. Oh, why can't I stop inventing things?
Because you are a born inventor, that's why. No matter what other job you try to do, you will always keep inventing. No point in trying to fight it, Mr. Mentor. You are an inventor. Mr. Mentor, the most remarkable inventor of them all.
Really? Oh dear, you're making me go all pink. You know, Jason, this wise old wizard is right. I am a born inventor, and an inventor I must stay.
That is great news, Mr. Mentor. Grandpa's plan had worked.
Please keep my inventions as a thank you present. You've been absolutely marvelicious. Now, I must get back to the lighthouse. I've just had lots of ideas for new inventions, and I must go and invent them before they invent themselves.
Best of luck.
Oh, say hello to Grandpa for me, will you? So sorry I missed him. Bye!
Bye. And with that, Mr. Mentor ran out of the door and back to the lighthouse. Grandpa whipped off his beard, jumped down from the easel, took off his shrinking cap, and came back to his normal size.
Oh! That was hard work, Jason. But we got there in the end. Mr. Mentor the inventor is here to stay, and it's all thanks to our teamwork.
Yes, Grandpa. Teamwork. A little later, Mum, Jemima and Wolfie came back.
Oh, Grandpa, you're up and about.
Where's Mr. Mentor?
He's gone home. He decided to go back to being an inventor after all.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
I must show you his super lipper talking slipper, Grandpa. It can train dogs.
What? Like this? Wolfie, in your basket.
Yes, Grandpa. Anyone would think you'd invented it yourself.
bucket. Jemima and I were going to spend the day at Miss Smiley's cafe. It was a special event, which was why we were both going dressed like this.
Well, you look marvellous, but I hope someone's going to teach you to roar louder than that. Once more, please, pirate pupils. Ha ha ha!
Yes, today we were going to be pupils at the Sunnysands School for Pirates.
I'm surprised Miss Smiley is running a pirate school. She's not fierce enough to be a pirate teacher, is she? She's much too smiley.
Miss Smiley's not the teacher, Grandpa. She's asked a friend to help.
Not Horatio Heave-Ho.
Horatio Heave-Ho has the beach hut next to ours. He works in a bank, but what he really wants to do is be a pirate.
Who's a pretty boy, then?
He loves putting on pirate clothes and digging for treasure. But most of all, he loves roaring.
Yo-ho! Heave-ho! Horatio!
Heave-ho! Horatio!
Just then, the doorbell rang.
That must be Miss Smiley.
But it wasn't Miss Smiley. It was...
Floyd!
Yes, it was Floyd.
Heave-ho, me hearties! Miss Smiley be waiting for you outside in her car!
Floyd, I didn't know you wanted to learn how to be a pirate.
I don't. I'm just going along to scare Horatio.
Well, see you later, Grandpa. Don't get up to any mischief while we're out.
Oh, I think I'll just have a little lie down. Have a good time.
I knew what Grandpa was thinking.
If Floyd scares Horatio, then the pirate school will be a disaster. We've got to go and stop them, Jason. And there's only one way I can go to the pirate school, and that is if I'm small.
Not a shrinking cap, Grandpa.
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks? He can get into my car and make it go. He can chuff about the room in my Sunnysands train. He can fly in my toy plane. Or he can just run around for all he's worth. I'm the only one who knows about Grandpa's magic shrinking cap, and nobody else is supposed to find out. I couldn't see Grandpa anywhere. I had to go without him. But I knew he'd find his own way to get to pirate school. On Gordon, my toy seagull. Grandpa took off, flew up the stairs and out of my bedroom window. Miss Smiley had done a fantastic job of turning the cafe into a pirate school. There were nets and flags and a fish tank and all kinds of pirate food. A treasure chest made from a loaf of bread, potato sailing boats, shark-infested jelly, and a mermaid cake. And then our teacher arrived, Horatio Heave-Ho.
Yo-ho-ho! Heave-ho!
Everyone was so busy cheering Horatio Heave-Ho that nobody saw Grandpa running into the cafe, or climbing up the table leg, or hiding behind the treasure chest loaf.
Welcome, young ruffians, to the Sunnysands School for Pirates. I'm your teacher, Horatio Heave-ho, and this is my assistant, Stinky.
Perhaps you could teach them a piratey song.
I don't know many piratey songs. I keep forgetting the words.
Well, I know a piratey song. How does a proper pirate go? He stamps his foot and he shouts heave-ho. He hoists the sail of his pirate ship and goes on a treasure hunting trip. He lands on an island far away and digs and digs and digs all day.
When he finds gold, how does he go? Yo-ho-ho! Yo-ho-ho! Yes, I've got it, sing your hearts on me hearties. How does a proper
Even Grandpa was roaring his heart out.
heave-ho?
But Floyd had other ideas.
Goes on a treasure hunting trip.
While we were singing our hearts out,
He lands on an island far away.
Floyd sneaked off and picked up this, a plastic crab. Floyd chased Horatio round and round the food table. Any moment, one of them was going to spot Grandpa.
Help!
Make him stop, Miss Smiley. I'm scared of crabs. I keep thinking they're going to nip me somewhere nasty.
Floyd, you put that crab back where you found it, please.
Oh, it's pathetic. It's only plastic.
I think it's time for a piratey picnic.
Grandpa had to get out of the way. He jumped down and hid under the table. I was pleased to see that Grandpa had escaped. Floyd had taken the mermaid off the cake.
It's not very piratey, this food, is it? I mean, why have we got a mermaid cake? Mermaids have nothing to do with pirates.
Floyd, put that back. At least you can't scare Horatio with a plastic mermaid.
But Floyd was determined to scare Horatio with something else. While everyone was helping themselves to the pirate picnic, Floyd sneaked off to the dressing up box. He thought nobody was watching him, but he was wrong.
What's that boy up to now?
Miss Smiley went to get chocolate sundaes, and Horatio said...
And while we're waiting for the sundaes, I'll tell you all some pirate stories. Now sit down and gather round.
So we all gathered round.
Boris Blackbeard
All of us except Floyd.
was the wildest pirate that ever sailed the seven seas. He had a roar that could scare the life out of a giant. Ah, it's him! It's Boris Blackbeard, the bragging buccaneer!
Of course, everybody else knew it wasn't really Boris Blackbeard, the bragging buccaneer. It was Floyd. Horatio ran off and hid in the store cupboard.
Floyd! You're spoiling all the fun and you've upset Horatio. I'm telling Miss Smiley.
Yeah, me too. And me.
This was a disaster. I was looking around for Grandpa, but I couldn't see him anywhere. And then I saw these. Grandpa had taken his clothes off and was running around pirate school in his pants. He was definitely up to something. I decided to hide so I could see what that something was. Floyd was making for the food when somebody waved at him. This time Grandpa had gone too far. He was sitting in the fish tank dressed as a mermaid.
Ah! She waved at me! Miss Smiley! You've got to come! There's a real-life mermaid in the fish tank!
As soon as Floyd had gone, I ran to the fish tank and whipped the real live mermaid out.
Oh, thanks, Jason.
Honestly, Grandpa.
I didn't think I'd be able to hold my breath for much longer.
But it's true, I promise. She's alive.
Oh no, Floyd's coming.
I'll deal with him. You hide.
Floyd went straight to the fish tank, but the mermaid wasn't there.
Cooey, I'm over here.
Ah! You can talk too? Who are you?
I'm Melissa, the Merry Mermaid, with eyes of turquoise blue, with golden hair and a flappy tail, and a special message for you. No more scaring, Horatio, please. No roaring and stamping your feet. Horatio may not be very brave, but he's ever so sweet.
Horatio!
Floyd rushed off to the store cupboard to find Horatio, and I came out of my hiding place.
That was so funny, Grandpa.
Oh, pass me a napkin, will you, Jason?
So I promise from now on I'll be as good as gold. If I do one more thing wrong, you can make me walk the plank.
It's a deal.
Now please come and see the mermaid, please!
While Floyd was saying sorry to Horatio, Grandpa took the mermaid costume off and got back into his normal clothes. I redressed the mermaid doll and put her back on the cake. Just in time, too. Horatio and Floyd were coming back.
Not at all like you imagine. She's kind of funny and talks like this. I'm Melissa the Merry Mermaid with eyes of turquoise blue. Well, come on. She's on the cake.
This is just a doll. Full marks to you, Floyd. He tricked me right and proper, Miss Smiley. He tricked me. We'll make a pirate out of you yet, lad. Yo ho ho.
Yeah!
Floyd Lloyd was a bit confused, but Grandpa's job was done. When pirate school was over, Grandpa flew back on Gordon and Miss Smiley brought us home. I ran into the house in front of Jemima just as Grandpa flew down the stairs. He whipped off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
Oh, we did it, Jason.
It was a great pirate school, Grandpa. Especially once Melissa the Merry Mermaid stopped Floyd messing about.
But Melissa couldn't have done it without your help, Jason. That's what I call teamwork.
Teamwork.
There you are, Grandpa. We had such a good time. We learned masses about being a pirate, including this song. How does a proper pirate go?
He stamps his foot and he shouts,
Heave-ho!
Grandpa, you know it already. Anyone would think you'd been to pirate school too.
Grandpa in my pocket! This is the lighthouse in Sunnysands. It's where Mr. Mentor the inventor lives. He just loves inventing crazy things, and we just love going to visit him in the lighthouse. Sometimes he invents things quite accidentally. Sometimes Grandpa helps with his inventions. But Sunnysands just wouldn't be Sunnysands without Mr. Mentor. We're always really pleased to see him. One morning, while I was helping Dad, he burst into the garden.
I've got some spectacular news.
Mr. Mentor invents words as well.
Really? What? My very good friend, Mr. Greator the Creator, has come to Sunnysands. He's one of the most remarkable inventors in the universe.
He sounds amazing. I'd love to meet him.
Well, he's staying with me at the lighthouse, so you can come and meet him now, this very minute.
Yes, this was the day we all got to meet Mr. Greator, the Creator. Mr. Greator is very big and very jolly, and he likes everything to be big, especially his inventions, like this, his super-sized sausage squeezer. That makes him extra jolly.
Can I come? I'd love to meet Mr. Greator the Creator.
Grandpa, you'd never manage the lighthouse stairs. Never mind, I'm sure you'll meet him very soon.
I'm sure I will. Sooner than you expect.
I knew what Grandpa was thinking.
I'm going to meet Mr. Greator the Creator, stairs or no stairs.
Not a shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can!
You know what happens when Grandpa shrinks. He can do all sorts of amazing things. He can get into my toy car and make it go, or he can jump on my Sunnysands train and chuff around the room. But today, he decided to fly in my toy plane. So Grandpa went off to the lighthouse in my plane, and we all went in campo. In fact, Grandpa was flying so fast, he got there first. Mr. Greator was upstairs singing, so he didn't see Grandpa flying in through the window or landing on the floor. Grandpa climbed up the table and hid in one of Mr. Mentor's inventions, the Marvelicious model maker, and just in time too.
Mr. Greator, allow me to introduce my spectacularly dear friends, Jemima and Jason Mason.
Oh, you're rather small, aren't you? I like big friends. I like everything big, especially inventions.
At that moment, I spotted Grandpa in the Marvelicious model maker.
I've been looking at some of your inventions, Mr. Mentor, and they are all very small. What is more, I have no idea what any of them actually do.
No, nor have I. That's what I love about them. Take this Marvelicious model maker, for example. It's supposed to make models out of clay, but what it actually does is makes rather spectacular soup. You see, the clay goes in here.
Mr. Greator was very interested in the model maker, but I was worried when he stuck his hand inside. Would he find Grandpa?
Ouch! Oh, something nipped me. What have you got in there?
Well, just modelling clay.
It was probably a bug that got into the machine. Here.
I'll take a look.
And what is this ridiculous contraption?
Ah, it's my automatic aerostatic. One of my most brilioso inventions ever, if I say so myself.
Well, show me how it works. Small girl, sit there.
See if I can just remember.
While Mr. Mentor was trying to get his automatic aerostatic to work, I rescued Grandpa from the Marvelicious model maker.
There we are.
Meanwhile, poor Jemima looked like this.
Sorry.
Mr. Mentor really is the most remarkable inventor in Sunnysands.
No, I am the most remarkable inventor in Sunnysands because I have decided to move here.
To Sunnysands?
Oh, not just to Sunnysands, but to the lighthouse.
What? This lighthouse?
Of course, this lighthouse. Mr. Mentor will simply have to move out.
Move out? But I can't. This is my home.
But you can't live here because you're not a proper inventor.
He is?
Oh, very well. We shall see. I challenge you to a big inventing competition. We both have to invent something. Let me think. Yes. Something that turns small things into big things.
Small things into big things? But I've never invented anything like that before.
Oh, Miss Smiley will judge our inventions. I will see you in her cafe in an hour's time.
An hour's time?
Whoever invents the best invention wins the lighthouse. And whoever loses lives in a garden shed.
Garden shed? Oh, I'll never do it. What'll I use? I don't have anything suitable. Oh, it's absolutely impossible.
Please calm down, Mr. Mentor.
And Jemima took him upstairs to calm him down. This is terrible, Grandpa.
Don't worry. I'm going to make sure Mr. Mentor wins this competition if it's the last thing I do. I've got a plan. It's a bit risky, but I think it'll work.
I don't like the sound of risky.
See that big box over there? Use that. Make it look good. Oh, and put a hole in the back. And I'll see you in the cafe in an hour's time.
Okay. And with that, he jumped off the table, got back in the plane, and flew out of the window. At the cafe, Mr. Greator had taken no time at all to invent his invention, a supersonic supersizer.
I'm impressed, Mr. Greator.
So am I. Very impressed.
Luckily, everyone was so busy being impressed that they didn't see Grandpa running in. And then we all turned up.
So this is all you could come up with? Just a cardboard box?
It's not just a cardboard box. This is Mr. Mentor's Mega Magic Magnifier. Well, everyone was asking Mr. Mentor questions about his Mega Magic Magnifier, and Mr. Greator was laughing at it. I put the box down. Grandpa wanted me to turn it round, so the hole was at the back.
Perfect.
Then he told me the rest of the plan.
This is what we're going to do.
And he ran and got into the box.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to show you my supersonic supersizer. This amazingly brilliant invention can turn small things into big things. Gather round, everyone.
So, Mr. Greator took a small Sunnysands cupcake and put it into his supersonic supersizer. He closed the door, pulled a lever, and out came...
A big Sunnysands cupcake!
That is wonderful. Yes. The most wonderful invention I've ever seen.
Of course.
Oh, Mr. Greator, you are the winner.
The keys to the lighthouse, please, Mr. Mentor.
I'm sure I shall be very happy in a garden shed.
Poor Mr. Mentor ran out to the cafe, and everyone followed him. Everyone, that is, except me. It's such a pity nobody got to see Mr. Mentor's Mega Magic Magnifier. It can turn small people into big people.
Impossible! No invention could ever do such a thing.
This one does. I'll show you. So I opened up the box, and there inside was Grandpa.
A small person! I've never seen such a small person! Is he real?
Oh, yes, but this invention makes him big. Are you ready, Mr. Greator?
It was time for Grandpa to take his cap off.
Cap off.
Oh! That's astonishing!
It not only makes small things big, it makes big things small. Cap on.
So Grandpa put his shrinking cap on and got smaller and smaller. This was all too much for Mr. Greator. He ran.
What was the matter, Mr. Greator? Anything like it! It was amazing! Incredible! A work of genius! Mr. Mentor, you are the most remarkable inventor in Sunnysands. Nay, the universe, the lighthouse belongs to you.
What happened, Jason?
Oh, I just showed Mr. Greator Mr. Mentor's Mega Magic Magnifier. He was really impressed.
But I don't understand. It's really no more than a cardboard box.
Well, you know how it is, Mr. Mentor. Sometimes your inventors just start working all by themselves.
Yes, I suppose they do.
So off we went back home. Grandpa arrived just before us. I quickly ran in ahead of everyone else. He took off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size.
We did it, Jason. We got rid of that dreadful Mr. Greator the Creator. And how did we do it?
With teamwork, Grandpa?
With teamwork.
Oh, Grandpa, you're awake. I'm so glad you didn't meet Mr. Greator the Creator. He was horrible.
He even tried to take over the lighthouse. But Jason saved the day.
Did he now? Well done.
I don't know why Mr. Greator liked big things. I think small things are just as good. Don't you, Jason?
Oh, absolutely. I think small things are the best.
Grandpa in my pocket! It was a really busy day.
Oh, where's the tape?
Does anyone see my hat? Oh, there it is.
Dad, how do you spell congratulations?
All this was in aid of a very special occasion.
Ta-da!
Oh, Grandpa, you look wonderful.
I'd better make myself look wonderful too.
We've all got to look wonderful. This is going to be a wonderful wedding.
And whose wonderful wedding was it? Mr. Whoops's wonderful wedding. And who was he marrying?
Miss Smiley, scrumptious Miss Smiley. Her peacock salads are a healthy treat, but her chocolate sundaes taste so sweet. When it comes to puddings, I must confess, you just can't beat her summer mess. There's no one I rate as highly as Miss Smiley. Smiley, Miss Smiley.
I'm so excited.
Jemima was so excited because she was going to be a bridesmaid.
Mum, please can you do my hair first?
Good idea, Jemima. Then I'll have plenty of time to do Miss Smiley's when she comes over.
I'm just going to drop my things on sticks over at Miss Smiley's cafe. Jason, there's another tray in the kitchen. You can come with me.
Did Miss Smiley actually ask you to make things on sticks?
No, I'm just helping her out, which is more than you ever do, Grandpa.
Loretta helping Miss Smiley, it'll be a disaster. And Miss Smiley mustn't have a disaster on her wedding day. I better come too.
Not the shrinking cap, Grandpa!
Catch me if you can.
You know what happens when Grandpa puts on his magic shrinking cap? He can chuff around in my Sunnysands train. He can jump into my toy car and make it go. He can fly in my toy plane. Often, I have no idea where he's got to. And today, he was here.
Just cover me with a napkin.
Okay. I was sure Great Aunt Loretta would be back because she'd been waiting for me to catch her up. And sure enough...
Will you stop lingering? Grandpa's gone for a little lie down, I see. Always disappears when there's work to be done. Come on now, get a move on.
Great Aunt Loretta was right. Grandpa was having a little lie down on the tray of things on sticks. cafe had been specially decorated for the wedding, and Miss Smiley was just finishing off her wonderful wedding cake.
Where do you want the things on sticks? I made them myself. There's spicy sausage and banana, there's pilchard and marshmallow, and there's garlic and bubble gum. Try one.
While Miss Smiley was looking at the things on sticks, I quickly took the napkin off Grandpa. He stood up and hid behind a plate of party sandwiches.
Thanks, but I'm not really hungry at the moment.
Oh, well, that's just because you're nervous. But don't worry, I'm here to help.
Just then, I saw Mr. Whoops.
There's Mr. Whoops!
What? Oh, no, he can't come in here. Oh, it's bad luck for the groom to see the bride before the wedding. Get rid of him as quick as you can. Come on, now we'll go. Oh, we'll go and hide in the...
Great Aunt Loretta never says the word toilets out loud because she thinks it's rude.
Miss Smiley! Scrumptious Miss Smiley! What?
Mr. Whoops knocked the little groom off the cake.
How could I be so clumsy? Oh no! Oh no! Where could he go?
Just then I saw Grandpa. He wanted to talk to me.
The groom's over there on the floor. But he needs a new head. Can you make another one, quick?
I'll try.
Oh, I can't.
At that moment, Great Aunt Loretta came back in.
Mr. Whoops, you shouldn't still be here. You've got to go.
Oh, I've done a terrible, terrible thing. I've knocked the little groom off our wonderful wedding cake.
Great Aunt Loretta looked at the cake.
No, you didn't.
Grandpa had stepped in just in time.
I was sure How strange. He must have got back on the cake all by himself.
Oh, Mr. Whoops, you're just a big bag of nerves. Just like Miss Smiley. It's a good job I'm here to help keep everybody calm. Now then, off you go, back to the toy shop. Oh, Miss Smiley, you can come out now.
So, I put Grandpa in my pocket and the groom back on the cake.
Smiley, everything's all right. Now just keep calm. Oh, look at the time. You've still got to have your hair done and your makeup. Come on.
Okay. I need my case.
Come on.
Right, I'm coming. There we go. Right.
Oh, you're lingering again, Jason.
So we all went back to our house.
Right, now I've got
Before long, Miss Smiley was ready to have her hair and makeup done. Grandpa had jumped out of my pocket and was up on a shelf.
I think it might be easier if we do your hair and makeup in the kitchen.
Mum, my bun has fallen down.
Oh, don't worry, Jemima.
At that moment, Great Aunt Loretta appeared.
No need to panic. I am here to help. Now, why don't you do the bridesmaid? I'll do the bride. I'm an expert at hair and makeup, I am. Come on, Miss Smiley. Into the kitchen. Now,
Come along, Jemima. Let's do your hair upstairs. Come on.
I'll just ring Mr. Whoops, see how he's getting on.
Ring! Where is the ring?
Mr. Whoops was very nervous.
Here it is. Sing-a-ting-ting, what a beautiful whoop!
The ring went flying and landed in the shape sorter.
Help! Help! Whoever you are!
What's the matter, Mr. Whoops?
I lost the ring!
You've lost the ring. I'll be right over. Don't tell Miss Smiley. I don't want to worry her.
Okay, I hope you find it. Grandpa had jumped down onto the sofa.
This is terrible. I better go and help. You stay here and deal with Loretta.
But Grandpa...
I won't be long.
Before I could stop him, Grandpa ran to my toy plane and jumped in. Then he flew up the stairs and out of my bedroom window. Grandpa flew in while Dad and Mr. Whoops were still looking for the ring. Back at home, Great Aunt Loretta had made a terrible mess of Miss Smiley's hair.
No, I think it just needs a little extra something.
Well, I think you've done enough, Loretta.
Wait, I've got it. Things on sticks. They'll just look wonderful in your hair. Good job I kept some for myself.
In my hair! No! No!
I had to find a way to stop Great Aunt Loretta. Suddenly she went flying, and so did her hat. Wolfie didn't waste a second.
You got me Come back here, you wretched dog. Oh, come back here, you horrible little mutt.
Miss Smiley grabbed her chance.
Thanks, Jason.
She ran upstairs to find Mum. And I ran upstairs to get changed. At the toy shop, Mr. Whoops and Dad was still looking for the ring. Grandpa was looking for the ring too, and suddenly he saw it. In the shape sorter. In he went.
Don't give up yet, Mr. Whoops. The ring must be somewhere.
Grandpa had the ring. Now all he had to do was roll it onto the floor to attract Dad's attention.
Look. The ring. I'm sure it wasn't there a moment ago. I wonder how it got there.
Who cares? We found it. Sing-a-ding-ding, what a beautiful ring.
I've got to go and fetch the bride. I'll see you at the cafe.
Grandpa had to get home before Dad did. So he jumped off the counter, got into the plane, and out he flew. Meanwhile, Greator Loretta was trying to get her hat back.
This is all Grandpa's fault. I'm going to wake him now.
No, don't do that.
Oh, look, my hat.
I'll get your hat for you.
Oh, thank you, Jason. You're a marvel. I'll deal with you later.
Great Aunt Loretta rushed off to the toilet to put her hat back on, just as Grandpa flew down the stairs. Grandpa took off his shrinking cap and came back to his normal size. And we all went off to the cafe. The wedding was about to begin. First, Mr. Whoops arrived.
Oh, look, it's Mr. Whoops, he's here.
Mr. Whoops proudly held up the ring.
Zing-a-ding-ding, what a beautiful ring.
Then Miss Smiley arrived.
Here she is.
She looked very beautiful and very smiley. It was going to be a really wonderful wedding. I smiled at Grandpa and he smiled at me. And I knew that was how it was always going to be. Me, my grandpa, and teamwork.